Welcome to the Rose Up Live celebration. We made it. It's finally Rose Up Day. We're so excited to have all of you with us today. I'm Chad Riedy, one of this year's Rose Up co-hosts and co-chair. I did it again. And I'm excited to be here with Lydia and Andrew, my fellow co-chairs. I'm 42, living with CF, and I'm coming live from Alexandria. As I mentioned, I am joined by Lydia and Andrew, my two co-chairs this year. And I am just so excited and pumped to celebrate with you all today. It's been an awesome day of following what everybody's been doing. But before I pass it along, no, Andrew, you should keep your sunglasses on. It was awesome. Before I pass it over to Lydia and Andrew, I just wanted to share with you all that next to the live stream that you're seeing right now, you should see a live chat. Please be active, have fun. We love to see what everybody is doing and talking about and what you did for your Rose Ups. And also, you'll see real-time donations coming throughout the event. So if you want to donate while you're doing it, please do. You can make a donation now. You'll see your name pop up. There's still time to do all of those things. And plus, we are 8 people short of hitting our 500-person registered to Rose Up with us across the country and the world, I should say, this year. So if you're watching and you haven't registered, guess what? You can do it right from the page you're watching from. So go ahead and do that so that by the end of the night, we're well past 500. And thank you for being here. So Lydia, I will turn it over to you.
Thanks, Chad. Hi, everyone. Welcome. What a fun and amazing day it has been. I have been glued to social media all day, seeing all the stories pouring through from the CF community of folks sharing why they rose up, what they're doing to rose up. It has been honestly just so overwhelming and such a great day. There's still time to share what your Rose Up story is and why you rose up, what you've done on social media. If you want to do that later tonight, don't forget to use the hashtag RoseUpCF. Also, if you go to the hashtag RoseUpCF on Instagram, you can see all the other posts and awesome stories from throughout the day. My name is Lydia Sand. I am a 32-year-old adult living with CF, and I am also one of your Rose Up co-chairs. And I am coming to you live from Omaha, Nebraska, and so excited to be with you all tonight. And I'm going to kick it over to Andrew.
Thank you, Chad and Lydia. You guys nailed it. Today was an amazing day, just seeing all the posts on Instagram, what this community brings with this, their passion and their inspiration and creativity. Every year, it just keeps ramping up. It's so awesome to see all of that. I'm just so excited to have everybody here to celebrate. Hello, everyone. I'm Andrew. I'm our third and final co-chair for this year. I'm 28 years old, living at CF, and I am coming to you live from Kansas City. So, Chad, I heard that for your Rose Up activity this year, you got a chainsaw. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I trust you with the chainsaw.
Neither does my wife. She says I'm not allowed to use it unless she's home. So that makes 2 of you. Yeah, I did. I have over the past 4 years, this being the 4th year of Rose Up, the past 3 years, I've shaved my head, done push-ups, told dad jokes. And since this was the 4th year, I figured I might try to step it up and move to some power tools. So I have been experimenting with trying to do a live edge epoxy table of some sort. My first attempt has failed. So we'll try again, because that's what we do. We keep trying. So eventually my Rose Up will be finished at some point this year. But the best thing about Rose Up is it doesn't just have to be today. So stay tuned. You'll see it at some point. And Lydia, what did you do this year?
Thanks, Chad. So this year is actually a very special year for me. When I turned 32, it had a big meaning and significance. That was the average life expectancy for CF back when I was diagnosed at age 9. So wanted to just capitalize on the 32 and take one of my passions of cooking and baking. And I'm making 32 new recipes. And I, like you, have discovered that there's just a lot to do. And so my Rose Up is still ongoing. So far, I have made 12 new recipes. So I have 20 more to go that will continue after today. But it's been just so great to try new things. A couple of them have failed, but that's okay. Now I know for the future. Andrew, what have you done to Rose Up this year?
Well, this is my third time doing my Rose Up games for my Rose Up. So I had 6 CF themed events where we went, and I had about 20 participants come out. We all participated. And then only the top 4 qualified for the final Rose Up game to determine the winner. And it came right down to it, but I was this year's winner. There were a chance of rigged this year. I can tell you from my perspective, it was all legit. So don't worry, not rigged. But yeah, it was amazing. So Chad, I'll kick it over to you, but enough about the chainsaws, okay?
Okay, I'll leave it upstairs for now. Lydia, I hope you can mail one of those to me. I know we're like far away, but I think they've got a lot of dry ice out there in the Midwest, so I'm sure you can package it in something to send it to me.
I'll do my best, Chad.
Okay. Well, it's hard to believe that it's the 4th year already. I can't believe that I remember when this whole thing started with Casey, Summer, and Marissa. And the first year that we did this, it was exciting. It continues to be exciting, and it's awesome to see how it's evolved and how people have been creative to Rose Up. So I'm thankful for all of you for joining us. Together, we continue to achieve so much and reach new heights, not just with this event, but with this community as a whole. We're enjoying seeing all the buzz on social media, so keep it up even now after the event, as Lydia said. And I wasn't sure that when we created the first Rose Up a few years ago, during the height of the pandemic, I'm probably pretty sure that Casey, Summer, and Marissa realized how popular this would become. But it's way more than a fundraising campaign. It's a tradition. It's a tradition now, and we're excited to sort of lead the charge right now.
You know, Chad, I think it's more than even a tradition. I think some might say it's a lifestyle, which is pretty great. So we're going to hear more later tonight from a couple of special community members who I think will convince you even further that this is a lifestyle.
Absolutely. As you can see, Andrew is fully decked out in his Rose Up, and that's what he wears all the time. He actually never takes off his sunglasses. But yes, I love that, Lydia. I think before I jump into that conversation, though, I'd like to acknowledge the entire Rose Up committee. Andrew, I hope you'll help me in a second here. This group of incredible adults with CF are some of the best and most resilient people I know. Like many of you out there, each day they fight CF valiantly and continue to show up for their friends, loved ones, and for moments like this. Andrew's going to go ahead and read the names. While he's doing that, I'd love for us all to give a big round of applause for the committee, which we affectionately call Rose Up Rock Stars.
All right, yes, recognize some of our committee here. We had Eamon Tracy, Heather McCoy, or better known as Heat. I wish I had a cool nickname. Jill Collins, Casey White. We had Krista Wallace, Kristen Dunn, Lauren Hunsaker, Marissa Bencha, Madison Deaton, Nick Kelly, Nor Elshar, and Summer Love. Can we get some applause in the chat? Come on, let's come raise the roof. Yeah. Yeah, big thanks to our Rose Up committee. We would not have been able to do this without you guys. The time, the dedication, the willingness to help and go above and beyond. It really was amazing. You guys all deserve a big round of applause for just all that you dedicated into helping make Rose Up amazing this year. So thank you all very much. Chad, you're muted, buddy.
Seriously, you would think after like 4 years of this on a regular basis, I wouldn't be the one who was muted. Awesome. Can we strike that from the record, just that portion of it? Okay, so now before we get to to hear from 2 exceptional members of our community to learn more about why they got involved with Rose Up and what they did this year to participate, I am going to turn it over to Lydia to host our Gardenside or Rose Gardenside, or as I like to affectionately call it, Roses Between Two Thorns chat. And I will say, I just heard that we're up to 496 registrants. So I know there's 4 people listening to this right now that haven't registered, that can register while you're still watching. So Lydia, I turn it over to you.
Thanks so much, Chad. I want to begin by introducing our guest today. Tonight we have joining us is Katie Aryeh from the Rocky Mountain chapter and Brian Zhang from the Connecticut chapter. So Brian and Katie, come on screen. While they're joining with their video, I want to give you a little bit of an introduction. Katie is a CF daughter and a niece from Connecticut. This year is her first Rose Up. And actually a fun fact about Katie, she has actually represented 8 states in Congress on behalf of a CF foundation since she was 13. I mean, that's just incredible. And Brian is a third-year student at Yale University who's studying evolutionary biology and law. This is his first year participating in Rose Up as well, and he is especially passionate about fundraising and advocating for the CF cause. In his free time, he enjoys writing for publications, loitering in coffee shops, and going on super, super long walks. I love that. Welcome, Brian and Katie. We are so happy you are here tonight. And on Rose Up Day, happy Rose Up Day. Well, there's so much we could spend our time chatting about, but I want to just go to, I know what our audience wants to hear from you most, of why you decided to Rose Up this year. Katie, would you be willing to start us off?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you all. Happy Rose Up Day. As Lydia said, I am a CF daughter and niece. My mom passed away from CF 14 years ago, and my uncle is a 48-year-old CFer, almost 49. I have pretty much been involved with CFF my whole life. My mom and I created our Great Strides team, Katie's Crusaders, when I was 5. So a long time ago. And I have continued that. I took over the team as the leader when I was 13, and we continued up until the pandemic, when unfortunately our walk was halted, as were many others. And I have also been extremely involved with advocacy. Advocacy has been my real passion with the CF Foundation. I started when I was 13 at Teen Advocacy Day, and then became a Teen Advocacy Day intern later on. And now I'm with the big kids at March on the Hill, which is not as fun, but still pretty fun. And so I was really excited to join Rose Up this year and combine both my fundraising and my passion for advocacy. So thank you all so much for having me.
Awesome. Thank you, Katie. That is so amazing how much advocacy work you've done with the foundation. That's just so great. Brian, can you tell us why you decided to Rose Up this year?
Hey everyone, I'm Brian. Thank you, Lydia, for the introductions, and I'm super grateful to be here with Katie and everyone else at the CFF today. The Junior Class Council does one fundraiser every single semester, and I wanted to make cystic fibrosis the focus of our school's fundraising efforts this month because I believe that awareness can make ripples. Even though I do not have CF, I believe that as members of a community, whether it's part of a school campus or neighborhood, we all have the collective responsibility of supporting each other and helping each other overcome challenges. And like Katie, I also had a more personal reason. I had a childhood friend who passed away from CF 10 years ago, and I have this very vivid memory of her always saving a seat for me during lunchtime. And Katie, you know this, but it's always super important to have a lunch buddy at elementary school and middle school growing up. And I didn't have a lot of friends in elementary school, and her being there for me, honestly, is one of the most inspirational and humbling things that I can think about. And part of why I'm doing this fundraiser today is to save her a seat for all the times that she has given me a seat. And this summer, I did a little bit of advocacy work on the Hill, and I learned a lot about the Pasture Act. And it was actually there that I met Miss Melanie Lawrence, who I think is part of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. And she inspired me to attend the Tomorrow College Leaders Program. But thank you for having me, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. Well, you are both so involved. That's so great. And, you know, I think as an adult with CF, it's so awesome and inspiring just to see others who don't have CF still showing up for everyone in the community. And it just means so much to have you guys here tonight. So both of you alluded to a little bit what you did for your Rose Up this year, but I would love to know more. Brian, you kind of talked to something about like the Yale junior class. Can you tell me what you did?
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a team effort, and I have so many people to thank, including Jamie, who I think is in the audience today, and she heads the Connecticut chapter for CFF. But we ended up doing a series of programming that all class years can do, even though we're technically part of the junior class council. We gave students opportunities to have networking meals with our university president, Peter Salovey, and students could also have meals with professors. And then we also gave one student the chance to go on a date with Handsome Dan. He's our university mascot, and he's a really cool English bulldog, and it's actually insane. He has like 40,000 followers on Instagram, and he probably gets much better treatment than all of us students. But yeah, and then finally, just this past weekend, we did a Lifesaver Candygram sales event, and this was actually Jamie's idea. I love you, Jamie. Shout out to you. But basically, a student can buy one of these Lifesaver bags, which contains treats and CF information cards for a friend, for a professor, or a special someone. And then we would put their customized notes in those bags and then distribute them to students directly in their dorms or classrooms. And then that day, we also had an education booth in the heart of campus that taught people about CF, the Pasteur Act, and ways that they can get involved.
That is amazing. I mean, round of applause for Brian in the chat. That is so great you organized all that. And I think what I love most about it, it's not just a fundraiser, but also educating and building awareness of what CF is to the broader community. So that's so great. And also, if there's any millennials out there like myself who watched Gilmore Girls, Handsome Dan, I mean, that just holds a special place in my heart hearing that. So like, that is just so cool, Brian. Katie, can you share, tell us more about what you did for your Rose Up this year?
Absolutely. So as I said earlier, I really wanted to combine my passion for advocacy with this fundraising event. So I set out with a goal to get 165 messages to Congress about the Pasteur Act, which is something that Brian mentioned earlier. Basically, the Pasteur Act would incentivize companies to make new antibiotics, which is critical to all Americans, but especially the cystic fibrosis community, as we're dealing with an incredible amount of antibiotic resistance. So as I said, I wanted to get 165 messages into Congress from all over the country. I emailed, posted, texted, called, met with so many people. I got to meet with a few Congress members myself, which was really fun. I love that type of stuff. I delivered letters. Today, I stood up in front of my 250-person lecture, which was very intimidating, and told them all about Rose Up. And my professor posted my Rose Up on our homework website, which was super awesome. And in the end, I ended up with, last I checked, 317 messages into Congress from 25 states, and I was able to get 3 Congress members to sign on, which is something I'm really proud of. So I was very happy to be able to really involve everybody this year, those who can donate and those who can't, to get them all involved and on the path to making this hopefully a very successful bill. And yeah, it was a really awesome opportunity.
That is amazing. 317 messages to Congress from 25 states, Katie. I mean, shout out to you in the chat as well. If you're wondering what the Pasteur Act is, I'm confident Marissa, our lovely chat moderator, is putting a link in the chat right now where you can go and learn more. And if you're interested in how you can better advocate for all with CF, I'm sure she'll also pop that link in the chat too. But Katie, I mean, that's just so great that you were able to take your passion of advocacy and turn it into, and you made that for your Rose Up. And shout out to you for standing up in front of your class today and doing that. I know that can be kind of an intimidating thing, so that is great. Well, on maybe a more kind of meaningful note here, I want to just take a moment to check in with both of you on, you know, Katie, if you'd be willing to start this time and share maybe how your mom inspired you to Rose Up and to continue to support the CF community.
Absolutely. So as I said, my mom and I started our Great Strides team together in, I believe, 2007 or 8. And she passed away in 2009. So she was only at 2 of the walks. But that has really been a way for me to connect with her. The year that she passed away right before the Great Strides Walk. So we actually turned that Great Strides Walk into a bit of a memorial for her. And every year we wrote letters and tied them on balloons to send up to heaven for her. And so that became a tradition. So when that Great Strides Walk ended, it was a very, very sad day for me. But I was really happy to be a part of Rose Up. I was looking for something, a new kind of outlet to fundraise and was at VLC and spoke to a bunch of wonderful people, many of whom are on the Rose Up committee, who were like, you have to come and do Rose Up. So I found the website and I joined. So I was very, very happy to connect it in that way and to be able to raise money, but also to be able to advocate for pasture. Pasture is important to all Americans, as I said earlier, but particularly people with CF, and was particularly would have been important for my mom. She fought a lot of antibiotic resistant infections and eventually ended up passing away from sustained lung damage. So had this bill been in place, maybe she would still be with us today. So it's something that's really important to me to fight for. And just being able to keep her legacy alive, talk about her, and let people know how important this cause is, and just be able to fight both fundraising wise and advocacy wise to ensure that no one else has to lose a parent or a loved one to this disease.
Thank you so much for sharing, Katie, and just touching of sharing balloons up for your at the walk. So thank you. Brian, would you be willing to share how your friend inspired you to Rose Up and support the CF community?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not super great at public speaking, so I wrote a poem for her, and I think it addresses a lot of my feelings.
Okay, we'll give Brian here one moment. I think he's having some computer problems. Katie, I'm gonna just ask you if you can kind of jump in here and share while Brian's coming back on. What words of wisdom do you have for those of us who are joining online right now?
Absolutely. Well, my first advice would be sign up for advocacy alerts. I'm trusting Marissa in the chat to put some link or phone number. She's usually on that. But yeah, sign up for advocacy alerts, find out how you can get involved. There are so many ways that you can get involved with advocacy from the comfort of your own home that take less than a minute. Ask your Congress members to co-sponsor the Pasture Act. It is so, so important to our community. It's bipartisan, it's bicameral, meaning it's both in the House and the Senate, and it should be an easy sell. So write those letters, make those phone calls. And lastly, I would just say, be brave. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. I know fundraising can be intimidating. Asking people to do favors for you like that, especially when it involves money, can be a little bit uncomfortable at times, but you have to totally just go for it, is what I've learned over the years. Go for it, be proud, know what you're advocating for and what you're asking for is a great cause, and be 1000% behind it, and you'll be successful. So thank you guys all for participating with us. Thank you for rosing up with me and with the whole CF community. We couldn't do it without each other, and I'm so grateful for this amazing community.
Wow, I couldn't say the words better myself. Thank you so much, Katie. Brian, are you able to hear me now? We had technical difficulties and we could not hear your poem, and we wanted to make sure that you were able to share that still.
Oh, hey, I'm back.
Okay, great. Would you be willing to reshare your poem? We do want to make sure that we give you that time and space to honor your friend.
Yeah, of course. Am I audible?
You're doing good. We can hear you.
Got it. The poem is called Thalassophile. Thalassophile, noun, a person who loves and is magnetically attracted to the sea. That summer, we rode the Coney Island Ferris wheel with our parents and decided that the beach below us probably looked even prettier during the wintertime. I remember getting scared when we got to the very top of the wheel, but sitting next to you made me feel better. Thank you for always saving me a seat, by the way. You sat down next to me at the lunch table that one day and told all the kids in elementary school that we were best friends when I thought I had none. I want to tell all my college friends now that my very first best friend was a magician. I want to tell them what she knew about holding her breath underwater. You were a thalassophile and you were my best friend. You had iron lungs and you were my best friend. I can't give you permission to come back, but 1,000 purple ribbons spread out on the sand maybe can. If I call you when I finish making them all, can you promise me to pick up this time?
Wow, I'm just like so emotional. Brian, thank you so much for sharing. That was just so moving, and just really appreciate both of you sharing tonight and being brave and sharing about your loved ones who have since passed on, and just continuing to show up for the CF community and for all adults with CF and everyone who fights with CF. Just thank you so much to both of you, sincerely. So we are going to transition to our next piece. So you all can head back out of the garden because we're in our Gardenside chat. Thank you again so much for your time tonight. And I'm going to welcome back Chad and Andrew, my two co-chairs.
Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, Brian and Katie. Those were amazing stories that you guys shared. It really just captures that spirit and that passion and just inspiration that we do get from Rose Up. The amount that you guys are doing and have been doing for so long just makes me think, gosh, like Katie, you've been advocating since you were 13. I remember when I was 13, I was no lifing video games in my basement. So the drive that you have is amazing. So thank you both for all you guys are doing. Now I want to give a very warm thank you to this year's awesome Rose Up national sponsors who are driving our mission forward, and we are so grateful for their support. They're AbbVie, Vertex, Walgreens, Nestle, and the Joey Fund. So without further ado, let's hear from them now.
Hello everyone, my name is Tanya Conklin and I'm thrilled to be with you today on behalf of AbbVie, a national sponsor of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's peer-to-peer events across the country. As the first and longest standing national sponsor of Great Strides, AbbVie continues to be committed to the CF community. We have worked side by side with the CF Foundation for over 30 years to provide programs and resources. It's because of your relentless determination that we will not stop supporting this cause until CF stands for Cure Found. Thank you, and we hope you have a great event.
Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne Tandon from the Vertex Patient Advocacy Team. Vertex is proud to support the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's Rose Up campaign as a national peer-to-peer event sponsor. Congratulations to everyone who's involved in Rose Up, and I hope you enjoy the day.
Thank you so much for all of the incredible work that you've done. We at Walgreens are really proud of how we have worked with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation over the last 10 years. Both organizations have been dedicated to accelerating research and care for the over 30,000 people in the US living with cystic fibrosis. In addition, our team members in the community work closely with cystic fibrosis care centers to provide the best possible care for patients. Thank you for all that you do.
All right. We're so grateful for all of their support to make Rose Up a success, but also just all the fundraising and the advancements that we've had over the years. Wouldn't be possible without amazing people and sponsors like that. All right. So a couple of things here. Now it's time to showcase just how successful this day has been. And not just this day, but everything that led up to it and all the things that will come afterwards. We've got some exciting numbers to share. But before we do, we still need 2 people. 2. I know there's 2 of you listening right now, or you have a friend or a grandmother, or as we've joked, maybe your dog wants to register. So there's 2 people. So let's get to 500 before this is over. But for all of you out in the chat, if you can give me your best drum roll, and it's even going to echo throughout. So look at that. See? Amazing. All right, Lydia, how much money have we raised?
Are you ready for this? Are you sitting down?
Yes.
Okay, we have raised $325,000.
Oh, that's amazing. Awesome. So close to our goal of $500,000. That's incredible. All right, Andrew. Well, I just sort of said 498, so I don't know if it's improved, but.
Well, Chad, if we can do math, we are at 500. We need 500, and we had 2 more, so 498 on the registrants. If you got 2 people out there, just go out and register. Let's hit that goal.
All right, Lydia, can you tell me a little bit more?
You know, I am still waiting for my numbers to come in. So if there's someone watching who has this information, who could shoot me a text, that would be great.
And while they're
That's
doing
awesome.
that, those 2 registrants out there who are still waiting to register, get that registration in.
And if you just scroll down, you can see the breadth of how we've covered the country. So I think every state has somebody who registered. I love to see how the East Coast there is like blown up in roses. Hopefully in the future, we can get the West Coast to do the same thing. So this is an awesome event. We're so happy for all of you to share this with us. We're excited. And now I want to turn over to Andrew to highlight some of the awesome swag that we have.
Perfect. So thanks, Chad. Yes, we've got some amazing swag for this year's Rose Up. As you can see, we've all got our shirts on that we're rocking. These are amazing, super comfy, just as all CF shirts are. I've got the hat on, as you can see. I got it backwards, as is the classic style. And yeah, there's just a bunch of awesome swag out there.
I'm muted. I almost made the mistake again, but I didn't. I'm personally jazzed for, there's a black hole Patagonia black hole bag, which I've been eyeing for a long, long time, but now I can get it branded with the Rose Up logo on it. That's going to be awesome.
There's also a swag item that is a blanket, but it doubles as a pillow when you fold it up, and it looks super soft just from the picture. So that sounds awesome. There's an amazing Rose Up like beach chair, or if you're in a landlocked state like myself, a camping chair, but you'll look in style no matter where you use it. And if you really bring in those dollars, you can have the chance to get a Roomba that has the Rose Up logo on it. You could even name it Rosie the Roomba. I don't know, I'm just saying. So all these things together, I mean, it's definitely, these are lifestyle products that really shows that Rose Up is a lifestyle.
So if you're wondering how you can get a Roomba named Rosie, well, everyone can earn some of the awesome swag starting at $65. And by raising $100 or more, you can get the t-shirt. And by raising $350 or more, you can earn the hat too. So to find out more, you can click the link in the chat. And don't worry, there's still time to fundraise and earn your Rose Up swag. Well, sadly, it's time for us to wrap up our Rose Up live event here. We want to send a huge thank you to everybody who's tuned in tonight to help us celebrate what it means to Rose Up. We got one more step forward here in our shared quest to cure cystic fibrosis, so thank you all.
And if you haven't donated yet, you heard us say earlier, our goal is $500,000, and we have, an amazing number of 325,000. But if you've been moved by the stories of Brian and Katie tonight, please consider donating. You can donate on the page you're watching us on right now. There should hopefully be this big donate button. You can donate to a participant you might know as well. It's so easy. Just get out your credit card, just type that information in, just keep adding zeros once you're there. But in all honesty, any amount helps that you're able to donate. And we just truly appreciate it. So while it is Rose Up Day, September 21st, you do have until the end of the calendar year to continue to share your story and fundraiser, because every dollar will truly bring us closer to 500,000.
500,000. That's awesome.
That's $500,000.
Good job, Lydia. That's awesome. As we've said, we really appreciate everyone who joined us tonight and who has supported Rose Up by either raising awareness, fundraising, join us this evening, even just donating a few dollars. We couldn't do any of this without your support. We're excited to keep this thing going this year and into the future. And as we've said many times, it's not just a one-day event. It's an opportunity for this community to come together and shine a light on everyone in the community who's impacted by CF in one way or another, whether it's personally or with a family or loved one. So a huge thank you to all of you.
And while our celebration is ending right now, we do hope that you continue to Rose Up every day. Rose Up is so much more than an event. It's a lifestyle, as we said, but it's community, it's connection, it's resilience, and I think most importantly, it's hope. So thank you again. We could not be more proud of everyone's efforts today for Rose Up, and we hope you enjoyed the evening. That's a wrap.
Good night, all.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everyone.
Good
Thank
night.
you.